Hey guys, so in this video today we've got two jobs to get done. We've got two hedge reductions, well, one hedge reduction, one conifer reduction. I brought the trailer with me, and the plan is to get hopefully both jobs put into one trailer, and then it's one trip to the tip. So that's the first job. Get that down to a manageable height, so we're probably going to be looking at chopping it down to about here. Tidy up all the way around for him, but I think it's just going to be a case of getting inside of it and, like I said, just bringing it down piece by piece, and then we'll hoy straight into the trailer, and then I think that is going to be job number one. So I'll put you up on a time lapse over on my handy dandy stand. We've got some cones just to sort of put people off. I've got some ton bags, I'll just put them there really. But like with anything, when you're on the Joe Public, look at them pigeons down there, big buggers. But yeah, when it's Joe Public, just keep your eyes out, guys. Don't want to drop something on somebody. But yeah, Kebtex today, so we'll use that, and then we'll get it all into here. So I'll put you up on the stand, and then we can go from there, guys. So, all done, guys. Only joking. So, I've got to go and get my ladders up and level off that top, and I've got to shape it round. Let me turn you around. So, what I've done is I've tidied up and just put the majority in there, because you're trying to sort of faff around, trying to climb over stuff, and I've learnt this the hard way, is tidy up as you go. Don't just do one big tidy up at the end. So what I need to do is get up on the step ladders and then level off that top. And then I'm going to go around with the hedge trimmers and just neaten up this outside for him. But the customer is happy with the height. I always get it to check, or him to check, because the last thing he wanted, oh, could you just take another foot off? So I'm going to go around and just neaten it all up now. And then that should be job is a good one, he says. So, the tripods, definitely this tricky terrain, having something that can conform to it. I don't know how people go on when they buy the non-adjustable ones. So I've tidied up the outside of it. I am acutely aware that I'm happy with it. Conifers are very, very finicky things, but it's just a homeowner's opinion. So I've done on the top. When I looked at where I put the camera, you can see, like, look at that. That's a tripod, amazing. So I've leveled it off at the top. So yeah, we'll get tidied up, guys. We'll hoy all that into there. And then I think job is a good one. So I'll just neaten this little bit here and just push it back a bit there, just for access. But yeah, I think job's a good one, guys. So all in all, that job took about an hour and a half. That's fine for me. With doing YouTube and talking to the customer, all that sort of stuff, it takes what it takes, basically. So we're off to the next job now, which is another hedge reduction. But one of the things I did, and I'll include it, but I'll put it out as a YouTube short, the amount of equipment that I used on that job is, and this is why, and I say this all the time, you've got to charge your worth in this industry. It's not up to you to think the customer can't afford it, in the sense that, you know, the amount of equipment I used on that job. So long reach hedge trimmer, I used a pole saw which has the combi attachment, handheld hedge trimmer, I used a handheld little chainsaw, I used the Kevtech pruners, and I used a leaf blower. That's a lot of equipment. Now I could use pruners, loppers, handsaw and a sweeping brush, but I'm going to be there 4 times as long. Having the tripod ladders is such a big help. It's, you know, and I think 2 things from this little part of the video is invest in your business, because it makes your life easier, it makes your life safer, and it makes you more productive. Realistically, you know, if you didn't have all that kit, you'd be charging out for 4 hours of labour plus waste away. In this instance, it's worked out, you know, an hour and a half worth of labour with the right equipment, but also that right price, that premium price. And I'll do a little bit at the end on the waste costs, so you can sort of see. As for how much I bill out to each job, it's my costings, it is, but you'll have an idea on what you will be at that sort of, you know, job length. And again, if you're doing stuff like that on an hourly, well, I think there's only one winner in this situation, unfortunately, unless you're using handheld tools, you know, secateurs, stuff like that. So have a good day, and I'll see you in the next part of the video. So this job, just getting my tripod ready. So this hedge is going to be brought down to this height. So we're going to be thrashing it down to that. Take a look around here. So again, face it back here. This tree has got to be brought down. And then after that, like I said, just push it back, but the majority of the work is going to be from that side, so it shouldn't be too hellish, he says. So I'll put a time lapse up that side so you can see. So you can see cut in to where we're going to end up. But what I've done is I've left a barrier here, because this is quite a lot of people who walk here. So that will sort of, in a way, protect from any flying clippings or clippings dropping. And I'll finish up from that side over there. This is a little bit too thick for the hedge trimmer, so I'm going to come in, and this will be all right, but that won't be. So I'll come in with a Kevtech for that. Same with this over here. So yeah, we'll carry on, guys. So you probably noticed that I've swapped hedge trimmers. So the gear I think on here is stripped out, so as it will cut, but as soon as it hits anything a little bit more of a pencil, there's a terrible grinding sound from inside the head. Now I had these repaired about 4 or 5 months ago with a similar problem, and I think cordless stuff gets a little bit of flack, but I think at the end of the day the power's there. It's just these heads. And speaking to a lot of people, so this is the old combi head. Now you can see how much more metal is on that, and this is the new style. And when you think about it, the units have got more powerful, but there's less metal. Maybe they are stronger, but I personally don't believe so. And unfortunately, I love still stuff, but the hedge trimmers just do not last, especially the long reach ones. But it is what it is. It's a consumable almost. Hopefully there's still a bit of warranty left on them, so I'll drop it in and then we'll go from there. But I'm invested in them and it's the best that I've used, so I'll keep using them. So I've tidied up this side and I've leveled the hedge off. I'll show you in a little bit, but I think with every business, continual improvements is necessary. I think cones with stupid faces on them, drawn on them, is not going to cut it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump in the van, I'm going to order a couple of proper, you know, men working hedge cutting sort of signs, because people, they'll walk through anyway, won't they really? But, you know, and there's another pavement that side, but I want to sort of try and be as covered as possible. And also it looks a little bit more professional than cones with faces drawn on them. So we're going to get wrapped up soon, guys. So something that I do, I don't know if it comes across in the time lapse, but I like to chop all of this up as small as possible when I do the initial cuts. And then that way, if you take it right down when it's huge pieces like that, it's a pain in the arse to move it around, stuffing it in bins, etc. But if you shred it first, it's a lot easier. So just a tip there for you, only the tip. So we're back in the van now, guys. Both jobs are done. I'll put some after pictures up of that second one. Like I said, a couple of bullet points on this video. The long reach hedge trimmers are broken again. I think a gear is stripped off inside it. It's out of the warranty period now, so I'm going to fix it myself. Basically, I'm going to try and take the head apart and work out what it is, whether it's something simple or whether it just needs a whole new head. I don't know. Like I said when I said about I love the still tools, but I think certain tools you almost classed as, you know, consumable, let's just say. So I'm going to get him, I'm going to repair him myself, and then I'm going to replace him next season, so we can see, you know, what will sort of happen. Either way, when I replace him, I'll have 2 more years of hopefully trouble-free work, in air quotes. If I do have problems, they'll go for repair and I will break out the reserve ones. So I've finished now. It's 1:15. I started at 9:30, so I got to my first job at 9:30. I hooked the trailer up for about 9:15. So yeah, from 9:15 till 1:15 I've done and dusted. So yeah, really happy with today. Like I said, I'm going to get a couple of proper hedge cutting signs. It's always a little bit of grey area when working around people, but I honestly think just do your due diligence, sweep up regularly. You've just got to assume that everybody around you wants to injure themselves, so do whatever you can to avoid that. At one point there was a guy, an old guy, he was like climbing around a ton bag that I'd put there and the cones to get through. Like I said, you'll never stop people, you know, like technically it's there right away, but again, common sense is in short supply nowadays, so clean up as much as you can. So that's that job done, guys. I'm going to nip up to the waste site, hoil that out, and I'll let you know how much it's cost me for the waste, and I'll probably have a little bit of a chat with you, just a debrief. So what are we saying for the cost of waste disposal? Full trailer, that's including actually so that's my, because I did 2 trips, so this is my monthly waste drop. So I took about 5 dumpy bags of waste this morning. They'd all rotted down, so originally they were full and rotted down, and I took a full trailer of conifer and all that other junk. Well, £21.60. I think that's really good. To me, that's excellent value for money. I feel lucky having a place like this on my doorstep. There's people up and down the country that don't have anywhere access to this, and they have to use council tips. I think off the top of my head it's about £90. It's a set price. It's £90 for a van load or something like that at my tip. I'm not saying that's why people fly tip, but like, come on, if one place can do it for £21, why can't the council? But that's a conversation for another day. Like with anything, I want to sort of look at continual upgrades when it comes to this business. I'm going to go and get a couple of hedge cutting signs, just sort of probably the fabric ones, or I don't know, probably the proper ones, to be fair. Just something to plop up at both ends, just to let people know. How I see it is, when you're working around the public, you've just got to assume that they want to injure themselves. So it's like today, I blocked, so as I was cutting there was a pavement full of clippings, so I put a ton bag at one end to stop people coming round, and then I put cones at the other end and a cone preceding it, and then there's just this old guy just climbing over the ton bag to get round. Like, I know it's a right of way, and I know, you know, but then there is a pavement on the other side of the road. But so yeah, it is what it is. It's just very sort of frustrating, but no one got injured, nothing happened really. I just said, oh, what do I know that for you? He's like, oh, I'm all right, you know. I think he just wanted a chat because he was talking about the rest of the place. But like I said, just assume that they want to get out, so I get injured. So I always rake up as best as I can during the job, so don't just let it mount up, you know, do one pass, rake up. And then also as well, I said this in the first part of the video, I think it's safer for me. You know, if you like that first conifer job, you're taking a load of waste off, you know, and it's just a perfect trip hazard, especially when there's a couple of steps involved. So a bit of workplace cleanliness doesn't really harm anybody. So thank you for watching, guys. I did have a look actually. So them long reach hedge cutters are out of the warranty period. They're only out of the warranty period by a couple of months, but well, that's it really. So I'm going to have a go at fixing them myself, and if it is that they're hooped, they're hooped, but I'm going to have a go at fixing them myself. I am actually tempted just to buy another head for it, and then that's done then, isn't it, because it's had previous work done on it. I'm not entirely sure that it was done right in the first place, so instead of chasing problems around, I'm just going to replace the head, and then hopefully that should sort it. But they will be replaced next season, so next season I'm going to be replacing them, and hopefully we're having a new head on and other such bits. It should be, you know, they should last and they should make for a good replacement, you know, a good sort of spares, and that's what I'm all about. So as usual, guys, thank you for watching and keep on gardening.